Okay, how are we doing tonight, folks? The situation we have here tonight is what you'd call a shower basin, and a shower surround that I'm going to put in here. I built this shower base, the actual wooden base. Now that's a fiberglass unit there, and I've got the drain and everything connected underneath. And the main thing I wanted to show you, this is a basement shower, okay? But what I wanted to show you the situation was here is when you're framing something. Now this is select, right? This is select lumber. The reason I like to get the select lumber is not because it costs more money, but because you actually get less knots and just a better product. But the other thing I wanted to show you tonight with this little project, you see I'm shaking this here, and there's really no racking at all involved. It's just my hand. But the situation here is sometimes when you're framing something, you're always going to have leftover pieces of wood. And what you want to do is take those leftover pieces of wood and get some triangulation in the corners, okay? And what I did is I cut one. I left a little space here just so they don't split. But you leave, I think I left a 2-inch space there, 245s, and then when you come in here and put them in, the situation is going to be nice and strong. It won't let the walls rack back and forth, especially a freestanding shower unit like this. Now, as you see up here, I did the same thing at the top, okay? So that's just a little framing episode that you may want to take a look at. And you see the back. Okay, and this particular shower unit is going to have the handle more up towards the top because it's just a shower unit. And we're going to go with a rainfall effect, a rainfall shower head. But I just wanted to bring that to you. Oh, my sponsor tonight is Dewalt. Dewalt guns. They'll get you into a situation and get you out of a situation unscathed. Dewalt guns. Now, this is a 20-volt brushless situation. This is a framer. And you see I've already put my name on this. Now, I got to say something right now. A shout out to my friend Dan and Cassie. I did some work for him and a couple years ago. And he hooked me up. Okay, he gave me this whole gun. When we were done with the job, he gave me this entire gun, several batteries. And I actually got a roofing gun. Same thing. It's a battery operated. And I'll just be quite honest with you. I literally struggled with this because I was always raised. I mean, my brother and I, we started framing houses by hand, right? I mean, it's just single nails and a regular hammer. And I'll tell you what, you do get good at framing with or just a regular hammer and nails. And I'll be honest with you, part of the resistance was I said to myself, I just don't think they're going to sink nails. It's going to be more trouble than it's worth. And a friend of mine, he said to me, you know, you need to come up to the new style of doing things because this is much faster. And I'll tell you what, we use this specifically for putting down 5/8 roofing material. And it actually used some 2.5s, I believe, or 2 5/8 nails. Now, when we initially started using it, it was bending the nails. But it wasn't the gun's fault. We actually had the wrong angle or degree of nail purchased at the time. And if you noticed, the fastener, it has to be 30 to 34 degrees. Once we corrected that, it really it ran beautifully. But let me tell you something. You want to talk about sinking nails. Look how nice this sinks them. And it just draws the wood in really nice. In a situation like this where when you're nailing in the corners, you don't want to be swinging a hammer and all that inertia and weight starts knocking some of the stuff loose. This is just a really solid gun. I would recommend it to anybody that is a homeowner or is getting into actually doing some framing. But it's the brushless setup, and let me tell you something, it really fires them. And that's a 3.5-inch nail, and it just sends them right in where it's indented into the wood like a good 1/8 of an inch to 3/16, you know. But yep, the Dewalt ones, don't be afraid of them. And that battery lasts a long time. I'll tell you right now, that's a really nice setup. It's even got a rafter tie for it where you can sit it on the rafters and stuff. But for plywood, it's a no-brainer, and for framing. I'll tell you, if I ever get done doing turbine work, where I'm not working on jet turbines, I'm going back to framing. And I'm going back. That is really my first love, is framing. I love to frame. I love to get sawdust on my forearms. And I just love to frame up stuff. It's really a passion of mine. Ever since I was working with my brother, Hayes, he turned around and he really showed me a lot of good things that carried for the rest of my life, and it's just one of the best phases when you frame something up. And, there's a lot of framers out there, right, they'll leave a 1/4 of an inch gap here, right? They'll leave a 1/4 of an inch gap or an 1/8 of an inch gap. It's real loose, and they'll say, it's just framing. It's just framing. And you see how tight this is? They'll say, oh, that's overkill, and you worry too much. And but let me tell you something. My brother Hayes, he taught me to get them tight right off the bat. It's one of them deals that if you make it nice like this, the rest of the situation you'll have less settling. You'll have less sheetrock breaking later. This is just the right way to do it. I used to like to get them where I could tap them right in place. You'd have to take a hammer and just seat them right in. And I tell you what, that's a really good way of doing it. I don't even know if the Amish get them that tight. But hats off to my brother Hayes. And, he showed a brother the right way to do it. But, yeah, back to this gun. That's a situation right there, people. You really want to get you one. But if you're doing any kind of framing, and yeah, that's it. But we'll give you an update on the basement shower stall. Now, I have three showers upstairs, okay? But the situation with this is I do a lot of stuff outdoors. I do a lot of grease and engine work and all kinds of stuff where it's nice just to be able to come down and get that main thrust of the grime off you before you go up into your house and bring that into your normal showers, because that's a situation that says when this is done, this is going to be really nice. It's a nice unit, 32 by 32. But that's neither here nor there. I just really wanted to show you the framing aspect of it and what type of hardware I used, what type of gun I used, and yeah, there you go. So there you are, people. And if you have any questions, holler at your boy.